The following presentation is for informational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure your condition, or to be a substitute for advice from your physician or other healthcare professional. Welcome to Tools for Healing and Wellbeing. I'm your host, Elaine Jagielski. In this episode, we'll explore the concept of vagal toning. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve, and although we refer to the vagus nerve as singular, it's actually a pair of nerves that emerge from the left and right side of the medulla oblongata portion of the brainstem. The lateral translation of the literal translation of the vagus is wanderer, which aptly represents its widespread interfacing of the cortex, brainstem, hypothalamus, and the body. Its afferent pathway, or periphery to the central nervous system, comprises 80%, and the efferent pathways, or going from the central nervous system to the periphery, comprises 20%. The vagus nerve serves as the body's superhighway, carrying information between the brain and the internal organs, and controlling the body's response when it's in rest and relaxation. It carries sensory information from the skin of your ear and controls the muscles that you use to swallow and speak, even influencing the immune system. This nerve is the sensory network that tells the brain what's going on in your organs, especially the digestive tract, the stomach and the intestines, the lungs, the heart, the spleen, the liver, and the kidneys, as well as a whole host of other nerves that are involved in everything from talking to eye contact to facial expressions, and even your ability to tune into other people's voices. It is made of thousands upon thousands of fibers operating far below the level of our conscious minds. As was mentioned, the vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve, which passes along the ear, through the tongue, the pharynx, down the sides of the throat, through the heart and the GI tract. If you have concerns, then you might want to try what's called the uvula test. And what that is, or what that entails, is that maybe with your phone or a mirror, so you can put it on self-photo mode, you would open your mouth wide, say "ah," just like the doctors used to do way back in the day, and then check what that little uvula does, that little organ that hangs at the back of your throat. If it moves more to the right or the left, rather than staying central, it may signal that your vagus nerve needs some toning, that it needs some attention. So the vagus nerve controls many involuntary body functions, including heart rate. So the vagus nerves help slow down your heart rate and regulates blood pressure. Breathing, it influences the respiratory rate and helps control the muscles involved in breathing. Also, it has a role in digestion. So the vagus nerve stimulates digestive organs and aids in peristalsis, which is the movement of food through the digestive system. Inflammation, it has an anti-inflammatory function by signaling the release of neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, which reduces inflammation. It also plays a role in mood and stress regulation. The vagus nerve is also connected to mental health, influencing the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin, which can help make you more resilient to stress. It also plays a role in immune system responses, skin and muscle sensations, mucus and saliva production, the gag reflex, speech, taste, urine output, and orgasms. This gives you an idea of how important the vagus nerve is, and if any of these areas aren't functioning well, then how it might be related to the vagus nerve. Now, vagal toning refers to the activation and strengthening of the vagus nerve, which helps enhance the functioning of the parasympathetic nerve system, which is responsible for the rest and recovery aspects of our nervous system. Improved vagal tone has numerous benefits for physical and mental well-being. The first of those being improved stress resilience. So it can assist with reducing our stress and anxiety. A well-toned vagus nerve promotes relaxation and can help mitigate your body's fight or flight response, which is associated with being in a stress state. The dorsal or back part of the vagus nerve is responsible for the more recent addition of the freeze to the fight or flight or freeze response. The freeze occurs when you feel like a deer in the headlights and you don't know what to do, potentially overwhelmed, and in turn, you don't do anything. It also helps with better emotional regulation. So it improves your ability to manage emotions during stressful situations. Another benefit is that it can lower your heart rate and blood pressure. The vagus nerves help slow down your heart rate and maintain heart health. By promoting relaxation, vagal toning can lower your blood pressure, reducing the risk of heart-related issues. Another benefit is enhanced digestion. The vagus nerve stimulates your digestive tract and helps with the production of stomach acids and digestive enzymes, improving digestion and nutrient absorption. Vagal tone is linked to the health of the gut-brain axis, which can affect both digestion and mental well-being. It also has anti-inflammatory effects. So the vagus nerve can help systemic inflammation by releasing neurotransmitters that reduce inflammatory response in your body, which may help prevent chronic conditions like arthritis or cardiovascular disease. Another benefit is enhanced breathing and oxygen efficiency. Vagal stimulation helps regulate breathing, making it more efficient and calming. Enhanced vagal tone supports better oxygen use in your whole body, which may contribute to improved endurance and energy. Another benefit is improved mood and mental health. Higher vagal tone is associated with improved mood and lower rates of depression. It promotes the release of serotonin, dopamine, and other neurotransmitters, which contribute to feelings of well-being and emotional balance. The vagus nerve acts as a communicator between the gut and the brain, meaning that what goes on in the gut microbiome can affect what happens in the brain and vice versa. The seventh benefit is improved sleep quality. A well-toned vagus nerve can help calm your nervous system, leading to better sleep patterns and deeper rest. Better immune function is another benefit. Vagal toning helps the body regulate immune responses, potentially improving your ability to fight infections and recover faster from illness. The ninth benefit is enhanced focus and cognitive function. Vagal tone improves your focus and cognitive performance by promoting calm, sustained attention. It has been linked to better memory function, likely due to improved regulation of stress hormones. Now, some common techniques to improve vagal tone include deep, slow breathing, especially diaphragmatic or belly breathing. Meditation and mindfulness practices also helps enhance vagal tone. Cold exposure, so cold showers, or even just splashing cold water on the face can improve vagal tone. Exercises like yoga or gentle stretching, anything along those lines also helps to provide or improve vagal tone. Anything that creates a vibration, so humming, chanting, singing, sighing, or if you're familiar with the ujjayi breath, which is just that the rushing of the breath, vibrating that vagal tone of the part that passes along the throat. So these engage the muscles around the vocal cords, stimulating the vagus nerve. Social connection is another way that positively interacts with the vagus nerve to help improve vagal tone. Acupuncture and certain types of massage can also be useful for improving vagal tone. So we're going to take a look at some simple vagus nerve stimulation exercises that can be done anywhere and at any time to help you feel calmer and assist in getting your body into a state of healing and rejuvenation. Welcome to this episode. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Nancy Perkis. I've been in Lethbridge for about 22 years. I'm married with 3 children, including a set of twins, involved in a variety of things, including fitness and the outdoors. We love to camp. We love our pets. I have a horse, and I'm happy to be here today.
Wonderful. And you're from Lethbridge?
22 years in Lethbridge, from Montreal originally.
Okay. All right. And you're also involved in fitness, right?
Yes. I enjoy working with a variety of populations, especially older adults or people coming back from different injuries or just general fear of the gym. I like to make things welcoming and fun for everyone.
Excellent. Okay. And now you've heard of the vagus nerve before.
I have.
Okay, yeah. So you have a little bit of familiarity with this particular topic. I will talk a little bit about it, though.
Great.
And then we'll go through a few different techniques that can be utilized.
Terrific.
So as far as the vagus nerve is concerned, it's one of the cranial nerves, and vagus stands for wanderer. Okay. And because it kind of wanders, it's not a straight line. It kind of wanders through a certain portion of the body, and so it runs down from the cranium along. Kind of, if we traced it, we traced it down this way, and then down through the body. Again, those are kind of straight lines. It's not quite how it goes, but it affects so many different functions within the body. So everything from eye movement or certain eye movements, swallowing, yawning, sighing, and then getting into cardiac things and breathing, and even digestion, things associated with the gut. So it is associated with, as was mentioned, so many functions within the body. And so there's something called vagal tone. Are you familiar with vagal tone at all?
No.
No,
not exactly.
No. So with vagal tone, what that means is just where that nerve is in what might be considered a healthy frequency or a healthy functioning, and so vagal tone. And so some of the different ways of stimulating it are in order to help with creating a better vagal tone. Okay. And often, and stimulating that vagus nerve helps a person function more so in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest, versus the sympathetic nervous system, which is the stress mode, fight or flight.
Sounds great.
So, and you're sitting here, so again, you might not be in a position where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm really stressed, or unless this is really stressful. But just as a gauge for yourself, if 0 is really relaxed and 10 is almost a panic attack, very, very, very stressed. Where are you at the moment?
I would say 5.
Okay. great.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So just keep that in mind,
Okay.
or like just we'll set it off to the side.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Okay, so and now typically, like I said, I'm going to talk you through a number of different techniques.
Okay.
Typically, a person wouldn't do these all in one sitting.
Okay.
Okay, because there might be overstimulation.
Right.
But for the purposes of this demonstration, then we're going to do a number, but we'll go at it slowly.
Sounds good.
And we'll kind of break it up a little bit, right? Kind
Perfect.
of doing this and then that. So, however, if for any reason you start to experience any sort of discomfort versus, oh no, this feels good, let me know. Because then
Okay.
maybe it's suggesting that, no, that's good. We've done a lot of techniques and your body's going, hey, we're good for now. All
Okay.
right?
Great.
Okay. So the first ones we're going to start off with, or we'll kind of, like I said, we'll go back and forth a little bit, because there's a number of ways to do this, and we're only going to touch on a handful
Okay.
that a person's able to do while they're seated, right? And you can do anytime, anywhere, essentially.
Great.
And so the first ones are manual stimulation. And so one of them just involves, if you find just in the upper part of your ear, there's that ridge, and if
Okay.
you just go above, so with your finger, you just go above, and you're just going to kind of circle. You're just going, and then you can do both
can do
ears
both.
if you like. So you're just going to circle gently around, right? So your ear is actually moving, right?
Okay.
You're actually moving your ear. Now, there doesn't have to be a lot of pressure,
Okay.
just a little bit. So it shouldn't be painful, shouldn't be uncomfortable.
Okay.
But you do want to feel a little bit. And then the other direction, just kind of moving around the other direction. Now, if a person happens to have really long fingernails, then doing their best not to dig into their ear.
Sounds good.
Okay, great. And then we're going to, so any of these, it doesn't always have to be all of these together.
Okay.
Another version of that, still looking at that vagal nerve stimulation, is to take the finger, and you can actually, it's almost like you make little connections between your finger and your thumb, but stick the finger into the lower part of the lobe and then join it with the thumb behind.
Okay.
And you're actually going to circle your ears.
So you're kind of
around.
picking up the cartilage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just a gentle pinch.
Okay.
And then moving it around. And if there's any discomfort, if a person notices that, ooh, or this one side hurts kind of when I do this, then some like a little bit of palpitation or a little bit of pressure movement. What's there? What's going on?
Noticing that one side's crackling a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, and it may be related. It may be something else going
Right.
on, but good to notice things.
Yeah.
Let's switch directions. Yeah, as far as what's going on, one area a little bit tighter, and like you said, maybe
Yeah.
more crackling.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just letting that go. Just
Okay.
letting that go. Okay. And then just feeling your ears probably feel very stimulated and that kind of thing. All right. Now, another manual one is we're just going to take the fingers, or a couple of fingers, you can decide, and you're going to trace along. So you're going to trace along just sort of the midway kind of down behind the ear,
Okay.
and gently trace, just kind of following along, just a little bit along the jawline, and then down the sides of the throat, and then just kind of off the chest a little bit. So just sort of doing that a few times. We're just tracing down and off. Yeah. So just a few more times. And it's just a gentle pressure. And once again, if a person notices anything, it might be good to do a little bit of like, oh, I'm just going to stimulate that a bit. Let's see if that gets better.
I find that quite relaxing through the neck area.
Good, excellent. Yeah, it often is, and so that's great if that's the case. And let's go one more time. Perfect.
Great.
All right, okay. And as we go along, you might gauge as far as, well, how's that feeling so far, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, just as far as in the moment that felt relaxing through the neck.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cold application can be very beneficial for the vagus nerve.
Okay.
And so even something like splashing cold, you're looking around going, oh no, we're going to splash some water. So even splashing cold water on the face,
Okay.
or on the throat. All right, so this is just a cold pack. A
Okay.
person could use any kind of cold pack that they like. And so we've just got this wrapped in a little bit of a towel.
And so you're just going to place this along one side of your throat,
Okay.
okay? And we're going to hold it for about 15 seconds.
Okay.
Okay? So just hold it there on the one side. So all you're doing is just holding this cold pack on the side of your throat. Now, of course, if you experience any kind of discomfort or anything like that that doesn't feel right, then feel free to move it away. But you're just holding that there. And it's very simple. I mean, a person can, as long as they have something cold, ice cubes wrapped in something, whatever it might be, then great. Okay, then you're just going to switch to the other side.
Okay.
So just holding just along the throat as best as you can fit that big block.
Right.
Right, that big cold block. And so, again, and you're just breathing and holding the block there. Right? And then you would typically go back again to the other side. But since we're doing so many in a row, we're just going to do the one per side.
So if you had a larger soft ice pack, you wouldn't do both sides at the same time necessarily? You could.
You could.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, gauge how that feels.
Right.
Gauge how that feels. Like, ooh, that's okay. So you can probably remove that.
Okay.
Wonderful. All right. And how did it feel with the cool?
Interesting. I'm not sure. Not unpleasant.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure what it did at this point, but
Right, to have the cold, because often the cold is, unless you've been working out or something, it's like, oh, that feels nice
Right.
with the cool, but just because. It's like, I don't know, do I like that? Okay, chances are your vagus nerve did. All
Okay.
right. So now we're going to work with, so if it's available for your shoulders, if that feels okay,
Okay.
you're going to clasp your hands and you're going to place it behind your head
okay.
with your thumbs kind of on the base of your skull.
Okay.
All right? Just as best as you can. You are then going to, now you can have your eyes open, you can have them closed, it's whatever works for you. I'm going to talk you through this.
Okay.
Your head is not going to move.
Okay.
You are then going to take your eyeballs as far to the right as you can. As far over to the right, and you are going to hold it there until you feel the inclination to yawn, to swallow, or to sigh. When that occurs, feel free then to take your eyeballs all the way over to the left, again, until you feel the inclination to yawn, to swallow, or to sigh. And then you can bring them back to center. And you can let your hands down and open your eyes. Great, okay. So, now, for an individual who maybe tries that and their eyeballs are to one side and they're like, I don't feel the inclination to yawn, to swallow, to sigh, it's okay, it's okay. Switch over to the other side, hold it there for a while. It just means that the vagal nerve could definitely use some toning, some stimulation, something's happening. And of course, with anything, I mean, if there's anything really serious going on, then see a medical practitioner. But for our purposes, holding to one side doesn't happen. And then see over a few repetitions or a couple of days, does that improve? Does that inclination arrive to, like I said, yawn, swallow, or sigh?
Okay.
Another technique is deep breathing. So diaphragmatic breathing.
Okay.
And we'll just do a bit of this. We've covered this in some of the other episodes. And with this, we will also incorporate a little bit of the actual, any kind of stimulation, vibration of the throat can help work with the vagus nerve. So we're going to kind of combo this up. And we're going to work with physiological sighs, all right? So with this, you're going to take a deep breath with that nice, deep as you feel you can, deep diaphragmatic breath. And then when it feels like you're full, you're actually going to take another sip, and then you're going to exhale on a sigh, a moan, a tone. I know it feels awkward for people to make a noise, but do your best to make a noise, right? And like I said, whether it's that ujjayi type breath, if a person's familiar with that, where the air is just rushing against the vocal cords. So go ahead.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
And the inhales through the nose, both the inhale and the top of.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you can, unless there's somebody or if there's any congestion issues, yeah. And then of course with the benefits of the nose breathing, we're producing the nitric oxide more so, and then that helps with fascial tissue and all those kind of things.
Perfect.
All right. So here, I'll talk you through this.
Okay.
So deep breath in. Extra sip, and then exhale on something. Good. And then do it again. Okay, deep breath in. Take a sip. And then exhale on something audible. And if you can, make it longer than the inhalation process took. So as long as you can. Nice. And one more time. Deep breath in. Extra sip. And out on something audible. Wonderful. Okay. And then how did that one feel?
Good. Strange, but good.
Yeah. Which part of it was strange?
Strange on camera.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Right. Again, to make the
Yes.
to make the sound, to make the tone. Exactly.
And hard to get that little extra sip after a deep breath. But
Which is good because that identifies that you've taken a really nice deep
Right.
breath. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Great.
felt good. Very relaxing.
Good. Now the next one is you are just going to take your hand to your ear. You're going to pull your head towards your shoulder, and then take your eyeballs to the same side as the elbow. And you're just going to hold it. Good, good, good. And we hold for anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. So that's at least 15. Now release. Good. Now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to take the other hand, take it over, and then, pull that ear toward the shoulder. It's a gentle pressure. None of this
Okay.
should feel as if you're straining your neck, but you want to feel a bit of a pull. Okay. And then you're going to take those eyeballs, Good. And they're just holding. And if anybody experiences any sort of dizziness or anything, if their eyes are open, and by taking their eyes that extremely to the side, then doing it closed might help. Good. That's about 15 seconds or so.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to add on to that one. So that one, again, on its own, great technique.
Okay.
This is another version of that. So we're going to go back to the other side. Now this time, you're just going to take that head over, or that hand over,
Okay.
and then take your arm over and pull your rib cage forward a bit. It's almost to allow yourself to get you got it. All right, and release. Of course, you would do the other side, you would hold that longer, but we've done so many.
Okay.
But that's just another example.
Okay.
So how was all of that? Those are just a handful of different techniques that are fairly easy, hopefully.
Yeah, good. I found I found a few things. Like this, like I said, was very relaxing. The breathing was fun to do. And then definitely with the hand on my head, I felt more of the yawning triggering than when the eyes were just closed, and it was maybe slight, but with the extra pressure or movement, it helped to accelerate that.
Okay, wonderful. Well, and if you were to do just to do a quick check-in again, 0 to 10, did you notice any difference at all at this
Yeah,
point?
I would say probably 3.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because it wasn't super high. Your number wasn't super high to begin
Right.
with. But even a little bit of a difference, fantastic.
Yeah,
Well, thank
very
you
nice.
so much
Thank you.
For being willing to take part in this.
Oh, you're very welcome. I appreciate being here.
Vagal toning is the activation and strengthening of the vagus nerve, which regulates the body's parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and recovery function. It is crucial for balancing stress responses, promoting relaxation, and maintaining physical and mental health. As a recap, some of the key benefits are reduced stress and anxiety as it calms your nervous system, enhancing emotional regulation. It improves your heart health by things like lowering your heart rate and blood pressure, and enhanced digestion as it supports your gut health and nutrient absorption. It also has anti-inflammatory effects where it helps control inflammation, reducing chronic disease risk. better mental health as it can boost your mood and reduce depression. A strong vagal tone also helps improve sleep quality. It promotes deeper, more restorative sleep, and it enhances your immune function and resilience. Some of the ways that vagal toning can be improved is through breathing exercises, meditation, cold exposure, and social connections. Even with a few minutes a day, you can begin to use the simple exercises demonstrated to potentially put your body into a state of healing, rejuvenation, and overall well-being.